So I was recently on a live with a private client of mine. We were doing a preview for a talk that I'm delivering at a summit that he's hosting in November, and some really good questions and conversation came out of this this little teaser live that we did. One thing in particular that we ended up touching on was a concept that I train my private clients on, and it's a perspective shift that will allow you to dominate your competition. And if you really develop this, what you're going to unlock is the ability to earn hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars per client in your coaching or consulting business. Right now, I'd like you to think for a second, how many clients would you need if each one could be worth over 100 grand to you over the life of the client? Okay, the numbers become pretty crazy pretty quickly, and the volume that you need goes through the floor. Okay, everyone's out there like, I need more traffic, I need more traffic, I need more traffic, right? Most people don't need more traffic. They need to understand this concept, and then they need to go to work implementing it. Okay, it's a really, really quick video. It's only a few minutes. I'm going to cut over to that, and I think it'll really open your eyes to a different way of looking at this type of business that's going to help you out massively. Okay, and if you want to explore this further, head to jacobcaris.com. You can check out some of our programs there. You can apply to be a member of my inner circle, where I work closely with folks day in and day out on adding an extra $100K to $1 million per year to their information business. Okay, if you haven't already, we'd love you to have you here as a subscriber. Give the video a like if you get any value from it, and drop any questions or comments that you've got below. I'll do my best to get back to you. But I'm going to cut over to this video now. Watch this a couple of times if you need to. Really powerful concept. It's made me a ton of money. It's made my clients a ton of money, and it's the way of the future when it comes to information marketing, information businesses, growing a personal brand that sells coaching, consulting. This is the game. This is how to do it. Enjoy the video. Cheers.
100%, man. I mean, I'll give a perfect example right now. I was in Jacob's audience from way back in 2018. So when I got into affiliate marketing, there were a couple Facebook groups that I joined. Yours was one of them. There was a few other Facebook groups that I joined that were in the affiliate marketing space. So all the way back, if you look at some of Jacob's oldest videos and lives, you'll see it says Zaki Ahmed liked it, because I was following him way back then when I remember you doing the little whiteboard. I don't know if it was in an office or where it was.
That was my apartment. Yeah,
there we go. So I was in his audience from way back in 2018. I jumped into Jacob did a bunch of stuff. He launched SAA. I hadn't jumped into that or anything. I was still like following what he's doing. I eventually jumped into his inner circle in 2021. So that's how many years later we're talking about. We're talking about like 3-4 years later. Yeah. I jumped into his inner circle, which was a 5-figure investment. So now right off the bat, he made 5 figures off of me just off of that one sale. I had purchased other things from him too. And then I renewed again this year. So all that time that I was following Jacob, imagine if Jacob just like burned the bridge with me at some point because I hadn't joined, let's say, SAA or something like that.
It's nuts. It's actually insane. I mean, you've seen the training. I have this for the folks watching. I have this training inside Inner Circle called $400,000 Power Hours. And it's a slightly exaggerated example, but it's also very, very true. It shows how if you put out a Facebook post or an email or whatever, right? And it generates, you say, 5 leads, right? Some people may be happy with that. Some people may not be, whatever. And it lands you $1,000 sale today. Most people think about that post as, oh, it made me $1,000. But when you embrace this thinking that we're talking about here, and you just look at the world and go, I'll just beat everybody with consistency. I'll just beat everybody with longevity. And it's not about being adversarial. It's just about going, well, I'll just outlive you, right? Like I'll make such a compelling case that you will buy from me eventually, right? If I want you to buy from me, by being consistent. Anyway, this training talks about how that $1,000, right? Great, amazing. But it's like the tip of the tip of the tip of the iceberg, right? The tip of the iceberg. You can roll forward, 3 months, and if you've got good stuff, they might buy a second thing. Maybe it's for, who cares? Maybe it's for $200, right? Now your customer value's at $1,200. Mm-hmm. And then, who knows? 6 months could go by, 9 months could go by, and you don't do anything together. And then they see you put up a post about, a coaching program that you're running, right? For $6,000. And then they jump into that. And then you work on, let's say that's a 90-day program. You do that together. Now you're at 7,200. And then you roll out like an Inner Circle, Cult Builders Elite, 12-month type deal, ongoing. And let's say that's, $20,000. And then they jump into that. Right now, that Facebook post, that seed that you planted, didn't just get you 5 leads. It didn't just make you $1,000. It's made you like 25, 30 grand. And that's still the tip of the iceberg. And when you keep extending your horizon, right? Like I've got folks, Zeki's in his 2nd year working with me. I've got guys that are in their 4th year working with me as we roll into the new calendar year. You know what happens in those 4 years is not only the direct LTV compounds and grows, right? Another year, but they talk about you because they clearly like working with you because they're hanging around. And let's say they just recommend one person come and check out your Facebook group. And that one person spends the $1,000 because they see a similar-ish post. And then they go on a path. And then they recommend another. That one original post very quickly can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Indirectly and directly.